Sentient Sessions course back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? How are you feeling? You feeling good? You feeling great? Because I am feeling good and I am feeling great. So we're just gonna go ahead, get right into reading. Wait, hold on. Let me just adjust this real quick. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead, get right into reading. I don't know what energy am I in today. I feel really good. I feel really romantic, sensual, like you know what I'm saying? I feel really good in my body, like very relaxed. Just trying to shuffle out the tarot cards. Just so, oh my God. But no, actually let me say something real quick too. Actually, let me tell y'all what happened. So, I had a conversation with somebody, and it's always the same type of energy that finds me. I had a conversation with somebody. I'm a very comfortable person, right? I'm very comfortable in myself and in my body and with who I am. So sometimes people will find me and I could tell they're kind of struggling with their identity. But like, I don't know if they quite understand why they found me or why they're so attracted to me. But I'll end up getting into like this really deep conversation. So I was having a conversation with this woman, and basically we're talking about, our conversation kind of boiled down to like escaping the human experience. And I was just like, I don't want to escape my human experience. I really enjoy being a human. I don't mind the pain and the pleasure that comes with being human. That is what romance is. You're not going to have pleasure without experiencing pain. You're not going to have pain without experiencing pleasures. Like there's things that, moments, okay, boom. Like you're not just always sad and you're not just always happy. It just doesn't work like that. And I feel like people dream of a life where they can always be happy. But sometimes, what is it I want to say? I don't want to say pain is necessary. But I want to say like, it's dualities. Everything exists in polarities. You feel me? Like, I could even say like one of my darkest moments, but like a funny moment that I remember is that at my father's funeral, this lady got on the stage and started singing, and that was something that we used to joke about a lot. Like he used to love this video about like a crackhead, no offense, but like of a crackhead singing at a funeral, and the lady was no crackhead, okay? She was just singing really bad, and that was a moment that just felt so funny because it was just like, this is something we always like used to laugh at, and look, like it's happening. So yeah, like it's a moment I remember and I'm still very humored by, even though it was a really dark memory overall. Like that's how I feel about moments. Like things happen and you find the pleasure, you find the, like you feel it. You just have to feel it. Like you, even some of my best moments in my life have brought up so much pain for me. Like being safe makes me feel like safe enough to relive really painful moments and process it for real. So we can't have pleasure without pain. Like I just accept that pain is a part of life just as pleasure is. I think that we have a poor relationship to both things. We have poor relationships to pleasure and we have poor relationships to pain, because in the conversation that we were having, I started understanding a little more about her and where she was coming from, because of course it started getting to a religious like debate. But like I don't know why they start with me. I don't start with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't start with them. I don't. But I said I don't live a life feeling like I deserve to be punished. I don't. And my life is pretty good. Like if my life is good, why would I change what I'm doing? Like, and then the more I started expressing that, the more she started expressing very escapist like concepts. Like she wants to escape her reality. She doesn't enjoy being a human. And I'm like, that's because it's taught to you to not enjoy being human. I love being a human. Like I love it. Like I love being a human. I love my human experience. I love my dark moments as much as I love my light moments. Like change is messy. Change is a paradox. Like you're experiencing so many different things at one time. And the more we start talking, the more I was like, like she reminded me of a version of me when I was really, really young. And it's not because she reminds me or gave me a vision of what I could have been if I never did the work. Because in that moment we're talking, I could see that she's like, she's not freed herself in a sense. Like, she reminded me of what I could have been if I didn't do the work. Like, it was all the things within me that I had to work through over the past couple of years, honestly. And that's her journey. I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm saying that that's just the connection that I had to her. Like, she just reminded me of me if I didn't do any of the work I've been doing for the past couple of years. Like, if I didn't work through the fears I had, and if I didn't sit with the pains I've experienced, what I could have became. And I was like grateful, and it also made me sad because I knew she was seeing something in me. Like, I knew she was seeing a freedom in me, because she would say, I have known you just feel so down to earth. Like, I'm a human. Like, I'm happy being human. Like, I feel like when I started my spiritual journey, that's where we kind of talked. Like, when I started my spiritual journey, I was also in a space of escapism, and I feel like my guidance grounded me. My guidance made sure I knew to be outside, go to the beach, be in nature, go for a walk in the morning, go for a walk at night. Like, I had to constantly be outside in nature, feeling safe outside, to get out of my head. You feel me? Like, I had to get out of my head by being outside. And then also, like, doing a lot of grounding techniques, like learning how to ground, and then really embrace the journey I was experiencing, because life has not been sweet. I've had moments, like, and I don't feel shame about those moments. I don't feel guilt. I don't feel the things that we're meant to feel about not being in the place that we want to be in our lives. Like, so that was what I experienced. But, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like, I just very much enjoy being human. I enjoy my experience as a human. I enjoy my life. Like, I don't feel shame about it either. Like, I feel like a lot of us are meant to feel like we can't enjoy our lives. And then even when she was giving me Bible references, because I believe in the Bible as a metaphorical thing. I don't believe like those are like real stories. I don't know. That's not me telling you necessarily what to believe. I just see it in a metaphorical way. That's how it speaks to me. That's how it resonates to me. So, like, the story of Job, like, Job was finding peace within in all of his trials and tribulations. And I understand it because I've lived it. Like, you have to find peace within. It's not necessarily saying like because I want to say, she was saying something about like closeness to God. Job had to have been in heaven. I was like, no, Job was in hell. Job was both. Job was experiencing hell and heaven. Job was in hell, and Job was also seeking his own personal heaven. There's nothing else you can do but control your mind. When things are going poorly, it's important to ground yourself in your reality so that you have control, dominion over your mind. Your mind has so much more power in your experience than you believe. Like, that's what I want to say. Like, he was experiencing duality. He was experiencing the polarities of life. He was shifting, and everything. When I think of it metaphorically, I think of it like this. Like, he was shifting, right? So he was having a full transformation in his life. He had prayed for something and the tests and the trials came about, and that's the most extreme versions of it. And I feel like that's how I feel about most of Bible stories. Like, it's just like an extreme telling of what happens when you choose to maneuver in a certain way. Like, it's guidance. So that was the extreme, right? He experienced the most extreme parallels before he entered his desired state, his desired reality. And he had to remember in his mind that heaven is promised to him, or that he is promised a good life, because within his mind he is finding peace. So the peace that he's finding within, he knows that is going to be created outside of himself, but he has to go through the motions. And it doesn't take away from the motions that he's been through. He just had to ride out the storm, ride it out until he got to exactly where he needed to be. So, and that is the human experience. Like, we're not gonna have great days every day. We can't. Like, honestly, moment to moment. It's moment to moment. Sometimes I have really poor moments, and then I have to sit down and ground myself. So a lot of this is about grounding. Like, sometimes I have to sit down and ground myself in my experience so that I know how to maneuver the experiences that I'm having. But if I chose to escape my experiences, and that could happen in so many different ways. A lot of people have coping mechanisms that differ. Everyone thinks that their coping mechanism is not that bad or whatever. Don't matter. But like, you're still escaping your reality. Like, sometimes faith, to me, because sometimes people will say delusion, faith. Sometimes I say, what's the difference between delusion and faith? In my opinion, faith is in remaining solid with yourself, because that's the only thing you have actual control over. Yourself, your mind, how you find yourself, how you find peace. I could be going through a storm and I'll know I have to take a bath. I got to do yoga. I got to focus on my self-care, because there's nothing else I can do. And that's the faith that I have. I have faith enough to know that I have to take care of myself in this moment. I can choose to escape this moment, but no, I have to feel in my body. I have to really lean into my body. I need to meditate right now. I need to pray. I need to be in silence. I need to do some yoga, some movement. I need to go for a walk. That's because you're still being thrown into the experiences that you're having. It's not that I'm like, now I need to smoke some weed, or now I need to go drink, now I need to call somebody up, now I need to go to church, now I need to. No, I'm feeling out exactly what I'm experiencing. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with those coping mechanisms. Everyone has their vices, but balance. Everything requires a balance. Everything requires a balance. Everything requires a balance. Okay, I'm trying to pull these cards. Blue Messiah deck. I can't even see what time. The cards are not coming out, and I'm like, is it this deck I'm supposed to use? Because it's coming out like in so many. I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna pull all of them. Inner alchemy, nature's wisdom, and then blue flame. So I'm gonna go ahead, drink some water. Make sure to drink some water. Inner alchemy. Embracing every aspect of yourself with love is mastering the art of inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is the process of transmutation of the dense energy within you into light. A true alchemist embraces and understands this process of change, and in turn prospers through alchemical empowerment. Dear one, the key to inner alchemy is to understand that the gold you seek is hidden within the dark shadows of self, shadows that encompass fear, rage, guilt, shame, and other conflicted emotions. You got to go through the emotions. You can't escape your emotions, because there's beautiful things at the end of the emotions that you're experiencing. Because even with me, one of my biggest lessons recently has been in regards to my sexuality. And it's been such a long process. And the things that I've experienced, if I felt shamed, I would have felt like I was stuck in those experiences. But I've had to work through some really painful things inside of myself and outside of myself in order to come to a place where I feel very comfortable with myself and who I am. And if I never went through that journey, I wouldn't be here living my truth. It's all full circle. From the moment that I knew something, my reality has continuously, even the conversation I was having with the girl I was telling you about earlier, that was a part of my journey. It helped me to reflect some more. I've come to a place where I'm solid in who I am. And this is who everyone has told me not to be. That's how life do you. Life will give you the opposites of what you should and should not do. You have to trust yourself. I know who I am because of the experiences I've had with myself. True love is being able to sit with myself in the darkness like I sit with myself in the light. I can't escape the relationship with myself when I'm going through it. I don't want to. I'm here. I'm faithful to myself for all of it. For all of it, I'm faithful to myself. The shameful moments, the mistakes, the pain, I have to love myself through it. I have to sit with myself through it. When I know I'm fucking up, like I have to be there for myself. I don't want to escape myself when I feel shameful or guilty or resentful or angry. When I'm scared. I want to love myself through it all. Because that's the only thing that I know, me. As long as I know me, it doesn't matter about anything outside of me. That's what I think of when I think of the story of Job. I have to know me. That's it. That's the only thing I have control over. When you're going through a storm, it's not saying just pretend nothing's happening. No, you're feeling pain, real pain. You have to feel it because there's lessons at the end of it. Uncomfortability. Even in the moment I was having a conversation with that girl, I was being checked about something. So I was being checked about past behavior of my own. I had to admit in a moment that I was wrong about something. It all came full circle. We're on a journey. By consciously walking through the darker aspects of self with understanding, unconditional love, forgiveness, and compassion, healing and a return to wholeness is achieved. Through the wisdom of awareness, view every situation you encounter in life as an opportunity to spiritually grow and evolve. By doing this, all your experiences will benefit you in some way and inner alchemy will result. When you can master this process of inner transformation, you are more empowered with greater understanding and enlightenment. When you look at others, you stop focusing on their darker attributes. Instead, you see their light. Passing on your wisdom of inner alchemy, you encourage others to see the gold within themselves. Through the practice of transformation, you move closer to the divine light of love and gain greater perspective and understanding of the universe within and around you. This, dear one, is true alchemical empowerment. Chakra, solar plexus, heart. Exercise. Sit in quiet, reflective meditation and ask to be shown your shadows or the part of you that needs love. Now send this part of you unconditional love, understanding, and compassion. I am strong as I move through my shadows with unconditional love, understanding, and compassion. I feel like writing a poem. Oh my God. I want to write a poem. Like, I just got the inspiration. Like, I'm just... Nature's wisdom. I got the inspiration, like, to love your... I feel like we all be so stuck on wanting to fix ourselves. sometimes all you need is to accept yourself and show yourself some grace in order to really move into the changes that are necessary for you to be who you see yourself being. Sometimes life will have things happen outside of you in order to redirect you back inside yourself and to redirect how you're viewing things and how you're seeing things. I feel like there was a deep guilt within me that I never like accepted. So I'm going to share a bit of my story, right? So I guess in the moment, something that I was having in that conversation I was having with the girl, we were talking about sexuality. And she said that when she was younger, she used to be a lesbian. And then she was telling me about her, that was like deep into the conversation of her trying to get me to convert to Christianity. I'm not doing that. I told her I also grew up in the church. Like, so when I was like 11, 12, like I already knew. Like I was like, oh yeah, I like women. Like I knew. But I had come from a homophobic family. That just wasn't something that was, it didn't seem like a possibility. So I threw myself into religion because I felt like something was deeply wrong with me. And a girl had came up to me and she was like, she had to come out. She was like complete opposite. She was really butch. Oh my God, I'm about to cry. She was really butch. Like she was butch. She was a tomboy, but not a tomboy, like butch, like, you know. And she came up to me and she was like we were cool. She was like, hey, like, I'm gay. And I was like, well, and this is me knowing, right? Me on the internet, researching, just knowing and feeling guilty and shameful about it. I say, oh, well, you know, God don't like that. Like, I have to love you because like, and I think you're cool. Like we're friends, but like that's not good. Like you're going to go to hell. And I was projecting really bad. And all these years where I'm at right now, I'm like, damn, she was able to live her truth from a very young age. And I had to go through it in order to get to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm safe enough to live my truth. And yeah, and I guess like I project onto like more butch lesbians because I'm like, oh my God, like one, I know there's some who even are able to accept themselves that way after having experiences as well. I guess with her, it's just like she knew and she just lived her truth. But then there's also situations where some are discovering that like they are bisexual or something like that, and it's like sexuality is fluid, right? So I guess sometimes when someone's like that comfortable with themselves to completely live outside of what is acceptable, because we live in a patriarchal society, when someone's that comfortable to live completely outside of what is acceptable, I guess I feel the bubblings of like that moment, and I have my like misjudgments, and it's because I like judged that girl so hard because of what was within me. And like I had to get caught in, I felt so caught up in that moment because I was like, damn, she's doing this because I'm comfortable in this way, but I did this to another person because of how uncomfortable I was in that way. Like I felt uncomfortable about the journey I had to go through to come to my understanding of self, because they already knew and they accepted themselves beyond for such a long time, and I struggled for a long time, and I'm like, damn. So yeah, that was really a oh my God, that was such a moment of clarity. And I needed it. And I had to give myself grace. And I had to give her grace too. Because I could have said what I needed. I could have felt however I felt about the conversation we were having. But she's on a journey that I don't understand. But I do understand. Because I was almost her. You know, I was almost her. And I caught myself enough to be like, I can't do that. But, you know, it's like being in the middle of something. Like, there's someone who already knew who they were. Me fighting who I am, and someone who's fully fighting who they are. Like, and just, we're all kind of just standing amongst each other. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I was reflecting parts of me that still resonated with her and projecting that onto somebody else. And I had to be like stopped in my tracks to understand, oh my God, no, everything that I'm projecting is about me. And everyone's just reflecting something to me. I was like, damn. It was a moment. But I'm also proud of me. I'm proud of her. And I'm proud of the other woman. And I'm proud of the girl who told me early on. Because we're all just on different journeys. Like, I've learned very valuable things from the experiences that I've had. And I'm not set in an identity of what people would have thought I was or how I was maneuvering. Because nobody knew the internal battle that I was facing. Or people benefited from the internal battles I faced. Or people needed me to have those, like, there was all these projections of who I should have been. And I was just being steered in so many different directions. And I feel more comfortable with myself. I enjoy my human experience. So that is what I'm saying. So nature's wisdom. Allow the song of Mother Earth to nourish your spirit and open gateways to love. Nari. To connect with nature is to connect through the oneness of love. This card encourages your relationship with nature, dear one. You already have a beautiful connection to Mother Earth, and through your creative expression of love, you inspire many. By immersing yourself more in nature and connected, what was I talking about earlier? About walking, going outside, going to the beach, going on a trail. It's beautiful, truly, truly. By immersing yourself more in nature and connecting through loving consciousness, you will connect even deeper with the spirit of Mother Earth. This energy, my heart, I feel my heart. Oof. This energy exchange will leave you feeling revitalized and will serve to constantly renew your own energy resources. Plants, trees, grass, and flowers communicate telepathically and will speak to you in a way that you will understand. Each organic life form expresses their light differently. I was talking about that with her too. Everything comes so full circle. I was like, yeah, everything has its own frequency. Like everyone, everything, all plants, different. You could put. There was this video on TikTok where she was connecting like this sound amplifier to like plants and people, and like you could hear the frequency. Like it was like loud, like ooh. I think it was, what was it? What did she put it on? Was it tulips? They sounded really angelic. Like it was really beautiful. It's super beautiful. I believe in frequency healing. I use sound healing. Like sound healing is the way. But yeah. The more you connect with them, the greater your relationship will be with the earth and also the people around you. Tuning into the frequency of the earth is simply being present and expanding your level of love to the unfolding magic around you. By spending more time communing with nature, you will sharpen your senses and ability to communicate with all forms of organic life. The natural world will guide you always, dear one. Thank you for being as receptive. I said respective, but respect the earth. Thank you for being as receptive as you have been. Stay open, for there's more that Mother Earth wishes to share with you. Chakra, heart, throat, third eye. Exercise. Go outside with deep gratitude. Place your hand on a tree. Commune with this tree and listen with an open mind and heart to the wisdom this tree has to share with you. Affirmation. I am rich in spirit because I embrace the beauty and oneness of Mother Earth with gratitude and love. And then we're just going to go back to Blue Flame. I'll see if I could pull a couple cards just to see if we're talking about a specific situation with anyone. That's how the cards for me go deeper into a situation. We'll see. Like, blue flame. Initiation of the blue flame connects us to our true divine nature and helps us to share that light of love with the world. Dear one, it is time to take that next step and walk through the initiation and purification. Honestly, yeah, so that moment felt like super necessary for a different chapter of my life, like with me and what I'm talking about. And I wonder if anyone's experiencing something similar, probably in a whole different area. Maybe you're not dealing with it in regards to sexuality or like religion, because that's where my lessons are: religion, indoctrination, sexuality, patriarchy. That was just a full understanding of who the fuck I am and who I will be and what I'm meant to do. Like, it was just like, yeah, this is who I am. And I'm standing very firm in who I am. And no one's telling me who I'm not and who I should be. No one. And sometimes we have multiple initiations. That's what I'm saying. Pain and pleasure are synonymous. I felt like, ooh, that moment hurt. Like, that moment hurt. It hurt. It was like, oh shit. This is what I used to be like. And even in this moment where I think I'm a hypocrite. And I was wrong. And I was being judgmental. And this is where I was too. And I'm still there in some ways. And it's like painful, but it's also really beautiful to experience. Because now I'm clearer and more sure. And I can forgive myself. So, yeah. Okay? Dear one, it's time to take that next step and walk through the initiation and purification of the blue flame. You have passed many tests and have already gained many valuable lessons and insights. The gift of the blue flame is now upon you, and it is your choice whether to embrace this light or not. Embracing the light of the blue flame is always consciously choosing to walk in truth and integrity, to lead by example, love unconditionally, and to be of service without judgment. When you are spiritually initiated in this light of the blue flame, you join forces with other souls on the same journey. Your power and light is nourished by your spirit family, to whom you are connected through your shared love of the blue light. Do you choose to walk in truth and integrity in all that you do? Sometimes it's necessary to just be like, you're a hypocrite. Like, those moments fucking suck. We hate to be wrong, but we can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. Like, will you lead by example by shining your own magnificent light? If you have sincerely answered yes to these questions, you are ready. Read below first, and then when you are ready, close your eyes. Chakra, throat. Exercise. See yourself surrounded in a circle of giant clear quartz crystal pillars. In the center of the circle stands a tall clear quartz crystal pillar, and within it a blue light. When you are ready to receive this anointment, place your hands on the crystal pillar and slowly feel the power of blue fire moving through you, filling your whole body. Feel the warmth, love, and rejuvenating energy. Affirmation: I am ready to walk my truth, live with integrity, and shine my amazing light always. So, that's that. Those are those cards. 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to quickly just lay out some of these cards. Very focused. Leadership skills need work. Energy is sign. Not a reciprocal situation. Use your creative mind. Your receptive projections. Allowing guidance. Also, it's okay to feel a connection, feel a spark, and know that it may not pan out well. That's something I've been learning as well, like with people, with friendship. Like, just, it's okay to initially feel like there's a spark, Virgo, and then just know it's not working out. Sending spiritual attacks, Taurus. Oh my God. Fake account lurking, alchemize the situation. There's gratitude, show more. Gratitude, show more. Losing sleep over it. It seems like you might just be alchemizing projections as well. Go to the event. You're alchemizing projections as well. There's projections that you're alchemizing. Entitled as fuck to you. Follow a budget, because this is about to get deeper and I don't have the time to go too deep. You're worrying too much, overthinking. This is about to go deeper. Very lusty, because what I was talking about, oh God, I'm telling you, like, even with the experience I had, I do be feeling like sometimes things do be like an attack on my sense of self, but it's also not an attack. It's just, once you're standing firm in your truth, like, it's like you experience these moments, these really intense moments, and in those moments you can choose who you want to be. And that's what I was telling her as well. The Fool in reverse, that's who I was telling her as well. Like, there's moments that present themselves and you choose who you are, and if you make the most authentic choice, you can't lose. 10 of Pentacles. So that moment could have been an attack if I wanted it to be. I could have just been like, oh, maybe something's wrong with me. Look, I keep getting all these conversations and people keep talking to me and they're telling me I'm wrong, Or I could choose to continue my journey as who I am. Because it seemed like people keep finding me trying to convince me that I'm wrong about who I am in my life, though. Like, my life is reflecting something else. And then the more I talk, the more uncertain I can tell other people are. They're projecting their own uncertainties. But people wouldn't feel the need to change you if they didn't feel uncertain about themselves. And that's what it was with me early on, years ago in middle school, with that girl, telling her that she was wrong, knowing that when I go home, I live vicariously through other gay women. And that's all I did for years. For years. I was closeted. I told her that because I was closeted. And I fought for years to remain in my closet. And I lived vicariously through other people while projecting all of my internalized homophobia. So people wouldn't feel the need to come and start projecting onto you if they weren't uncertain about themselves. Even when it comes down to spirituality, I say, it always goes down to, aren't you scared about what happens when you go? And I'm like, not really. Not really, not really, because I had magical moments happen even with experiencing a death, knowing there's something else to this, but it don't feel like it's what I was taught. I don't know. That's me that's why I said it's about to go deep, right? But they come to me telling me these things because I don't start these conversations. I promise you I don't start these conversations. People find me. I don't find people. I am not an evangelist. I'm not here to save souls, and I'm not here to tell people how they're supposed to do things. You find me when you resonate with me. And in those moments, they resonate with me, and I resonate with them too. For whatever reason, I resonate with them. But they find me because they're uncertain about what they're believing. And I'm not trying to change their beliefs either. But they're trying to change mine so they feel more valid in what they believe. Because I'm telling you, I have a good life and I don't believe what you believe. And I love my life. And now I'm starting to see that you don't actually love yours. So why are you pulling me into this? You're coming here because if I believe what you believe, then it will make you feel better about how you've chosen to live your life. And I don't want to make you feel anything at this point. I'm learning, you know what? This is my experience. I don't have to force anyone to do anything, understand anything my way. I just let things be what it is, and I say what I have to say, and I keep it pushing. Even when I think of relationships, I can't control nobody. I can't control people to see things my way, but I have to stay solid in my truth and my boundaries. So even now, I'm like, damn, I think I have to just stop having those conversations. Like, it was a beneficial conversation, and it's sneaky. Every time it's very sneaky. It's very sneaky. Like, they move in a very sneaky way. I don't like that. It's very sneaky. But now I'm just gonna be like, oh, we're talking about this. I don't want to have this conversation, actually. I don't want to explain my beliefs because I don't care for you to understand me, actually. I love having the conversations, but at this point now, I'm tired of it. Like, because eventually they all do the same thing and try to evangelize me, and I don't want it. I'm not lost. I found myself, like, and I know who I am, like, and my life is reflecting that I know who the fuck I am. So I'm having this, like, let's continue on the cards, but someone needs to hear this, okay? Like, you get me, and that's why I enjoy coming on this camera, because when I'm talking, whoever gets me. Whoever don't. It is what it is. It's not personal. It's completely okay. I could talk about my views on relationship. I could talk about my views on spirituality. I could talk about my views. I could just talk about my views. And people may resonate, people won't. And it's not ever for me saying I believe the best way. Because I could talk to, like, whatever you believe is cool. Like, that's where the conversations usually start. Like, oh, you have these beliefs, I have these beliefs. That's cool. But then they start trying to convince me of something. And I'm like, but why? Why are you trying to just believe what you believe? That's what I said. Everyone's meant to have the path that they have. Like, I would never go up to a person who believes in Islam and start telling them why they shouldn't. Now I'm having to have this conversation with you where I'm telling you and dissecting the things that I've experienced and the books I've read and the lessons I've learned and the things I've studied, because you want me to be convinced of what you believe, but I have my reasons for why I can't. And now you're gonna be upset because I'm telling you the history, and I'm not trying to tell you this so you don't believe what you believe. Just leave me alone then. Like, that's how, leave me alone. Like, this should be so much. Like, leave me be. Like, please. Once you hear me say, I'm not Christian, just leave me alone. And that's what I'm learning, to just, let's not talk. Like, let's just not talk about it. Let's just avoid the conversation altogether now. Because I don't really want to fuck your reality up, and you're not going to fuck mine up. I'm letting you know this. Like, it's just, but yeah, I think that was my lesson. I'm just not having those conversations no more. I don't want to debate. I don't want to argue. I don't care what you believe, actually. Because my life is good. Like, that's whatever. Go to event, not a reciprocal situation, allowing guidance. The Fool in reverse. You're accepting projections. Like, I guess I don't have a fear of the unknown. Or I do, but not in the ways that people come and project their fear of unknown to me. Like, in those moments, I'm approaching something unknown. Or I'm reflecting on something that I also fear. Like I'm accepting the projection and I'm alchemizing the experience. Energy is sign. Leadership skills need work. Use your creative mind. Virgo. Entitled as fuck to you. Setting spiritual attacks. Follow a budget. Taurus. And then the High Priestess. Like, I feel like if you're in a High Priestess energy, like, I don't know. People, it's something that society fears. A sovereign woman. A woman who knows who she is. That's something I fear when it comes to butches. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going real, it's like, I hope I'm taking you on a ride in the way that I'm seeing it. But it's like, people who fear a high priestess, like I had experienced the fear of butches. In that moment, I'm in this high priestess energy, and I'm like, oh shit, here's an unknown that I fear. And I'm feeling it because I'm being projected onto. So I have to sit with this moment and feel it and understand. And I'm like, oh, this is a sovereign woman, just like I'm a sovereign woman. And there's things that we can teach each other if we were to approach those conversations. But what am I willing to do? Who am I willing to interact with? Who am I willing to give my energy to? There has to be an approach to the unknown that benefits both parties. It has to be reciprocal. In the moment I was having that conversation, she was trying to convince me to lean into her own uncertainties. And I had to remain firm in understanding I know what I know. And I've experienced what I've experienced. And I've learned what I've learned. I told her, I know myself. I don't need to know anything else but myself. I'm not really concerned about that. I'm grounded in my human experience. That is the only guidance I need. Myself. Knowing myself. Not allowing myself to be confused about who I am. And remaining firm in that. And not being convinced of anything other than who I am. And going through the lessons and being redirected and being corrected about who I am. And knowing when I'm lying to myself about who I am. So, yes. Send a spiritual text entitled as fuck to you. People benefit off of your confusion of who you are. A fake account lurking, you're worrying too much, overthinking, alchemize the situation. Very lusty, gratitude, show more. And then the 10 of Pentacles. I see an ant. Oh my God, I was about to say inheritance, ancestral inheritance, and then an ant just crawled across the card. There's an ant. Ants represent abundance. And I know that's something also in Haitian culture, Haitian tradition. They believe ants represents like abundance. And I was thinking of something very ancestral. Wisdom. The 10 of Pentacles could actually be wisdom. Or being ready for something great or something big. I definitely think that I've experienced an initiation, and it's about authenticity. Not necessarily saying who I am and how I live is the right way to live, or it's just I know what the right way for me is. So I've experienced my own initiation into a more authentic version of myself. And that more authentic version of myself, that more sovereign, solid, stable version of myself is ready for a different level of responsibility. And that's how I feel alchemizing works. Like, you now can handle the riches. And again, I go back to the story of Job. Like, you can handle the riches now because you've known how to remain sovereign through your trials and tribulations. In whatever way, whatever lesson it's been. Because right now in this season, for me, it's my sexuality. Before it was housing. I've only been able to receive housing because I've remained solid and stable and grounded in knowing where I'm going and what I want. And allowing life to mold me, to prepare for that. A fake account lurking, you're worrying too much, overthinking. Self-forgiveness is key. A need to prepare. Like, it's just, this is all preparation in some way for something. It's not easy. It's not. But those uncomfortable moments wake us up, shake us, to truly asking ourselves the deeper questions. But when we escape it, we continuously stay in this limbo state. And now you feel like life is just about being in limbo. No, this isn't limbo. You're meant to live. You're meant to experience. You're here thinking that your life is just this huge, like, you're here thinking that your life, this ant is really enjoying the reading right now, but like you're here thinking that your life is just this like waiting period between birth and death, when no, you're meant to live, experience, learn. You're sitting in fear constantly about being punished, and it's fear. You're sitting in fear constantly. Experience. Like, so that's Sam 17 session adjourned. Please come back.